How do we become people who know what God is doing in the world and that we're seeing Him be active? Well, let's take a story from, actually it's the only story that we know of Jesus that's not from His birth and not from His adult life. Luke tells us a story from when he was 12, and his parents took him to the temple to celebrate the Passover. And on their way home, they traveled about a day, and then they finally realized that neither of them had seen Jesus for a while. And they started asking each other and asking around, "Have you seen Jesus? No. Have you seen Jesus? No. I thought He was with you. I thought He was with them." They began to panic. I mean, think of this. God has given you His Son to take care of and to raise until he becomes an adult, and you lose Him? I mean, that's a bad day. And so they went into Jerusalem and they started searching the city over, and they finally find Jesus in the temple. And just like any other mother, Mary had a boatload of questions for Jesus. But Jesus simply said, "Why were you even looking for me? Didn't you know that I'd be in my Father's house?" See, Jesus put Himself in a situation where He would hear about what God was doing in the lives of old, in stories of old, and in stories of new. See, are we doing that with ourselves? Putting ourselves in situations where we would be hearing stories of old and stories of new about what God is doing, so that when we go out in our daily lives, we are looking, we know what to look for when God is at work, so that we know how to jump on that and be a part of that. Let me encourage you, be like Jesus. Put yourself in situations where we can hear stories of old and stories of new about God at work, so that we can then see God at work in our own life.